Strong people have a strong sense of self-worth and self-awareness. They don't need the approval of others. When you truly know who you are, your values, your worth, your truth, you no longer feel shaken by the opinions of others. Strong people aren't cold or distant, they're just rooted. They've built a life that doesn't depend on claps or compliments to feel real. And that kind of self-trust is unshakable. The only people who get upset when you set boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. Not everyone will clap when you start protecting your peace. The people who got used to your constant yes might frown at your new no, but that's okay. Boundaries aren't about pushing others away. They're about keeping yourself safe. The ones who truly care about you will respect the space you ask for. Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Every time you change yourself to be liked, you lock away a part of your soul. You hand the key to your freedom to someone else. And the truth is, you deserve to live uncaged as your whole self. Their opinion isn't your truth. Your peace isn't for rent. When you say yes to others, make sure you are not saying no to yourself. It's beautiful to be kind, but when your kindness becomes self-sacrifice, it slowly chips away at your joy. Every time you overextend for someone else, ask yourself gently, am I abandoning me? Saying no to protect your peace is not selfish, it's sacred. The woman who does not require validation from anyone is the most feared individual on the planet. There's something powerful about a woman who knows her worth, who walks into a room and doesn't look around for approval, who doesn't need a spotlight to shine. That kind of inner fire, calm, steady, unbothered, terrifies those who live in a world built on pleasing others. People-pleasing hides the fear of being rejected for who you really are. So many of us wear masks, hoping they'll make us more likable. But deep down, it's fear. Fear that if we show our real face, people might walk away. The truth, the right people won't leave. And the ones who only love the mask would never really seen you anyway. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself, aloud. It takes bravery to voice your truth, especially when it's not the popular one. But silence is heavy, and self-betrayal is even heavier. Speaking up doesn't mean you're loud. It means you're alive. And it means you've chosen your voice over their comfort. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. Some people chase validation like a prize, hoping someone else will tell them they matter. But wisdom teaches us that everything we're searching for, peace, joy, purpose, starts within. You grow when you stop looking outward for worth and start looking inward for truth. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. People don't just treat us however they want. They learn from how we react. Every time you let disrespect slide, you tell them it's okay. Every time you stand up for yourself gently, you remind them you're not to be walked on. You are always teaching, even in silence. Give yourself the same care and attention you give to others, and watch yourself bloom. You're so generous with your love. You lift others, hold space for them, listen deeply. Imagine what would happen if you gave even half of that tenderness to yourself. You'd bloom not because someone else watered you, but because you finally realized you deserve to. Your success will be determined by your own confidence and fortitude. Your belief in yourself is the soil where your success grows. Not luck, not perfection, just that quiet, stubborn, beautiful thing inside you that says, I can keep going. Every time you choose courage over doubt, you plant something powerful and it will bloom. Human beings of any age need to approve of themselves. The bad times in history come when they cannot. Self-approval isn't vanity, it's survival. When people forget their worth, they become lost, disconnected, easily swayed. But when you know who you are and can gently say, I'm enough as I am, you become grounded. And grounded people don't fall for anything. They rise. A busy, vibrant, goal-oriented woman is so much more attractive than a woman who waits around for a man to validate her existence. There's a beautiful fire in a woman who wakes up with purpose. Her glow doesn't come from being chosen, it comes from choosing herself. When you stop waiting for someone to tell you you're enough, and instead build a life that reflects your passion, you become magnetic, not because you're trying to be seen, but because you're already shining. You are the only person who can love yourself wholly and completely. Don't rely on others to fill that space. No one else can fill the space within you. Others can love you, care for you, and support you. But the deep, rooted, unconditional love, that's yours to give yourself. It's not selfish, it's essential, because once you fill that space from within, everything else becomes a bonus, not a lifeline. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. This life you're living, it's yours, not theirs. Don't spend it trying to meet expectations you never agreed to. Don't dim your light just to fit in. Time is precious. Don't waste it wearing a mask. Be honest with yourself about what you want. It's your path. Walk it boldly. Confidence is the most important single factor in this game. And no matter how great your natural talent, there is only one way to obtain and sustain it: work. Confidence isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you build, brick by brick. Every small step, every hard lesson, every moment you keep going when it's easier to quit. That's how confidence is made. Talent helps, but discipline and self-trust, that's what makes it last. Dignity will only happen when you realize that having someone in your life doesn't validate your worth. You are whole, with or without anyone beside you. Your value doesn't increase because someone chooses you, and it doesn't shrink if they don't. Dignity is standing tall. Knowing your worth is already woven into your being, not something that needs to be earned through someone else's presence. Just like children, emotions heal when they are heard and validated. Your feelings are not too much. They don't need to be fixed or dismissed. They need to be felt. When you sit with your emotions, listen to them like you would a child, with patience, with love. Something soft begins to shift inside. Healing begins when you stop ignoring your heart and start holding it gently. If we all did the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. You have no idea how much magic lives inside you. You've barely scratched the surface of your own potential, but the moment you stop doubting and start doing, you'll realize you've always been capable of more than you believed. And it's a beautiful thing to surprise yourself with your own power. Saying yes when you mean no is a little lie that slowly unravels your life. Every yes you force, every moment you betray your own needs to please someone else, it adds up. Slowly, you lose touch with yourself. Peace begins when you start telling the truth, even when it's hard, even when it disappoints. You deserve to live a life that feels aligned, not one that keeps others comfortable. It's tragic that we recognize our self-worth from external validation. How many times have you waited for a compliment to feel beautiful, for approval to feel enough? The real tragedy is forgetting that you've always been worthy, even when no one clapped, even when no one noticed. You don't need outside voices to echo what your soul already knows. You matter. You're allowed to disappoint others in order to not disappoint yourself. You don't have to break yourself to keep others whole. Sometimes, choosing yourself means letting someone down, and that's okay. Your life isn't about meeting everyone's expectations. It's about being honest with your heart. And the more you honor it, the lighter you'll feel. I've found that it's of some help to think of one's moods and feelings about the world as being similar to weather. Your emotions will shift like the skies, sometimes clear, sometimes stormy. But just like the weather, they aren't permanent. Don't fear the rain or try to force sunshine. Just be with what is, knowing it will pass. You are not your mood. You are the sky holding it all. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Please, don't put yourself last. You deserve love, not just from others, but from yourself. You've carried so much, tried so hard, been so strong. Pause, breathe, wrap yourself in kindness. You are worthy of the gentleness you so freely give to everyone else. Don't compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 6. You're just starting. They're further along. That doesn't mean you're behind. It just means you're on different pages. Don't rush your growth trying to match someone else's pace. Your story is yours for a reason. Trust the process and give yourself the grace to grow in your own time. Belief in yourself is more important than endless worries of what others think of you. Value yourself and others will value you. Validation is best that comes from within. What you believe about yourself shapes everything. If you walk through life waiting for others to tell you you're enough, you'll always feel one step behind. But the moment you truly value yourself, not because they said so, but because you know it, you'll move through life with a quiet kind of power that no one can take away. Healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet boundaries and softer days. Healing doesn't always look like breakthroughs or big moments. Sometimes it's saying no when you used to say yes. Sometimes it's taking a slower day, protecting your peace, breathing deeper. That quiet choice to care for yourself, it's healing, and it matters. What if your worth isn't measured by how much you do for others? You don't have to earn your worth by overgiving. You are allowed to exist without constantly proving your value through service or sacrifice. You are not a machine. You're a soul, and your worth was never meant to be tied to how much you give away. Trying to be liked by everyone is exhausting and impossible. Choose to be real instead. No matter how kind, funny, or giving you are, someone won't like you. That's not your fault. That's life. So instead of twisting yourself into versions of what others might accept, be true to who you are. The right people will feel your honesty. And that's the connection that truly matters. When you are no longer able to change a situation, you are challenged to change yourself. There are moments when life won't budge, no matter how hard you try. And in those still, stubborn moments, you're invited to look inward, to shift your perspective, to grow through acceptance, to adapt without giving up. Sometimes the most powerful change is the one that happens within. A creative life cannot be sustained by approval any more than it can be destroyed by criticism. Your creative spark doesn't live in applause. It lives in you. Don't wait for likes or praise to validate your voice. And don't let one harsh word silence it. Create because it's who you are, because it lights something in you, not because the world claps when you do. Look inside without anyone else's validation. Understand that you are valuable, talented, unique, and worthy. Pause the noise, close the tabs, step away from the comparisons, and just listen to that small voice inside that's been quietly whispering your worth all along. You don't need proof from the outside. Everything you are already holds value. You were never meant to be a copy of anyone else.